Good morning, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you for joining me for practice today. For class, we have a 60-minute all levels Vinyasa focused practice. And with it being all levels, I will provide modifications along the way so that yogis of any experience or skill level can find a path that works for them. This will be a 60-minute class. And as far as props that we'll need, nothing too special for today. Our focus will be on twists and low back, just kind of loosening up that area, also strengthening, building balance, coordination, and just awareness in the low back area. So I hope you are ready to join me. We will get started on our backs. So if you do usually practice with your props, just keep them nearby, but off your mat. We may use them later if you typically practice with them. Otherwise, just join me here. Okay, we're ready to get started. So meet me on your back with your knees bent and the bottoms of your feet on the floor. And once you lower onto your backs, with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, gently let your knees fall in so they touch, and then separate your feet out wide, maybe to the width of the mat, just to your capacity. We'll begin class in this position. If this is too uncomfortable for you to start with, you can just keep your knees and your feet back to hip width distance, or extend your legs straight out. So find the pose that's comfortable for you, releasing your arms down by your sides, palms face up. Settle into your pose here. Let's take some time now to allow ourselves to transition into our practice. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Just allow yourself to breathe here, forgetting about whatever happened earlier in the day and not worrying about whatever you have planned later. Just committing to this hour of practice for yourself here on your mat. Keep taking nice, slow, deep breaths here as we begin our journey today and this posture that just allows us to find ease and comfort, transitioning our mind and our body to prepare ourselves for class. Take 2 to 3 more slow, deep breaths. One more breath here. Okay, if your eyes had softened, you can gently blink your eyes open. Keep your knees and your feet just where they are, but extend your arms out to a T shape, palms face up. With your knees together and your feet out wide, we'll gently rock our knees from side to side. So just be very gentle, beginning to invite some movement into our practice now. So slowly let our knees fall from side to side, back and forth, no rush here. Ellen, I see you checked in this morning. Nice to see you pop up. Appreciate you practicing with us today. I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. So we're gently letting our knees rock from side to side, already bringing some low back relief here, inviting some movement into the spine. Okay, the next time your knees come back through center, separate your knees and your feet back to hips width distance, and draw your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins or your thighs. Gentle squeeze, drawing the knees in. Try to keep as much of the spine on the mat, drawing the navel in and down. Keep the back of the head and the shoulders on the mat. Keep the left knee hugged in, and now extend the right leg straight out, releasing that right heel down to the mat. Flex the right toes so you draw them back towards your face. Keep drawing that left knee in toward your chest as you extend out through the right heel. Gentle spin of that inner right thigh in and down to keep the knee and the toes facing up towards the sky. Hold for one more breath here. And exhale as you switch. Draw the right knee in, extend and straighten the left leg straight out. Flex those left toes. Draw the right knee into your chest as you extend out through the left heel. Again, a gentle and soft internal rotation of that left inner thigh, keeping the knee and the toes facing up towards the sky. Keep drawing that right knee in for one more breath. Exhale, let's switch. Again, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg straight out. Option to hover that right heel an inch or two off the mat, or release it back down on the ground. If you're hovering that heel, you may feel the abdominal muscles engage a little more here, so keep drawing the navel in and down. Keep as much of your spine on the mat. Back of the head and shoulders stay on the mat here. Whatever variation you choose, keep flexing the right toes. Right kneecap draws up towards the right hip socket for one more breath. Exhale, let's switch. Right knee draws in, left leg extends straight out. Same option as before to hover or release the left heel on the mat. Keep drawing the right knee into your chest, flexing the left toes, whatever option you choose. One more breath here. And exhale as you draw both knees into your chest. Gentle squeeze. You can softly rock from side to side, giving your low back a little massage. All right, very nice. Keep your knees bent. Release your feet back down on the mat. Knees, feet, hips width distance, ankles underneath the knees. Arms start down by the sides. Moving into some dynamic bridge poses. So press down through all four corners of the feet. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, bridge pose. Little exhales, we lower gently from the top of the spine, middle, low back, last to arrive. Keep moving. So inhale as we lift, pelvis, hips, chest up. Exhale, gently lower from the top, middle, low back, last to arrive. Two more times. So inhale as you lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Four more times, options now to add your arms. So as you inhale and lift, maybe raise your arms out and up overhead. Palms stay up, facing towards the sky. And exhale, gently release everything down. Arms come down, palms face down. Three more times. So inhale as you lift. Arms are just an option here, raising over your head, palms face up. And exhale, gently lower, same from the top, middle, low back, last to arrive with the palms. Two more times. Inhaling, lift. Remember, arms are just an option. Exhale, lower. Once more here. So inhale, lift, pressing down through all four corners of the feet equally. Or keep your arms down, stay down. Hug those knees back into your chest. Gentle squeeze. Let's cross one ankle on top of the other. Bring your chin into your chest, lifting the back of the head off the mat, straightening your legs, hold on behind your thighs, Let's gently rock up and down our spines a couple times here. Gentle rock and eventually coming up into a cross-legged seat with the ankles underneath the knees. Find your nice comfortable seat here. Legs crossed, ankles underneath the knees, rooting down through your sit bones, rising up through the crown of your head. Option always to either put a block or roll up your mat or a towel underneath your sit bones, whatever allows you to keep your spine up nice and long. Let's start already with some wrist work. So interlace the fingers together, bring the wrist to touch, elbows to touch, and start moving in your figure 8 position or infinity symbol direction. Slow it down, move in the opposite direction. Okay, slow it down. Remember which thumb is on top. Release the fingers, re-interlace, opposite thumb on top. Wrists together, elbows together. Start in your first direction again. And slow it down. Let's move in the opposite direction. All right, slow it down. Release the fingers. Release the arms down by the sides, like Coney. Switch whichever shin is in front. Bring the ankles back underneath the knees. Root down through your sit bones. Rise up through the crown of your head. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Adding the arms. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, release the arms out and down to the sides. 3 more times, just like that. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, arms out and down to the sides. 2 more times. So inhale, raise the arms out and up. Exhale, release them down. 1 more time. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, out and down. Adding a twist. This time we'll hold the twist. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, twist to your right, release the arms down by the sides. We'll hold here. So with the right arm behind, left arm to the outside of that right knee. Want to make sure we still maintain a nice long spine. So crown of the head stays directly over the sit bones. Initiating the twist from the navel up through the sternum, shoulders, then the neck, the last thing to twist. So maybe you start to rotate the neck to look behind over that right shoulder. One more breath here. Inhaling back through center, both arms overhead. And exhale, release the left arm behind as you twist to the left. Again, maintain that nice long spine. Right palm to the outside of that left knee. You're using that left arm for stability, but maybe you get a little bit lighter on those left fingertips, abdominal muscles to keep yourself stable here. Turning the neck is the last thing to move as you look behind over that left shoulder. Hold for 2 breaths here. And exhale as you gently release, coming back through center. We'll move forward into tabletop. So either roll over your knees or send yourself to the side. We'll all meet in tabletop. Wrists below our shoulders, knees below our hips, fingers nice and spread. Wrist creases lined up with the short edge of the mat or maybe slightly turned out. Hips, knees, and ankles all in one line. Gentle press of the shins and the tops of the feet into the mat to bring a little weight out of the arms. Firming the outer upper arms in so the elbow creases face forward. If you were to bend your elbows, they bend directly back. Let's draw the navel in and up to keep those abdominal muscles engaged and avoid your belly sinking down. Keep drawing the tailbone towards the backs of the heels. Hold for 1 more breath here. All right, cow-cat. So inhale as you drop the navel, heart forward, look up, cow pose. Exhale, reverse, rounding the spine. Let the crown of the head draw down as the shoulders separate, cat pose. 3 more times. So inhale, heart forward, look up, arching the back. Exhale, round the spine, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. Two more times on your breath. Move gently and slowly through your cow-cat poses. Use this as an opportunity to connect your breath to your movement here. And once you finish your last cat pose, meet me back in a nice neutral spine. We'll stay in tabletop, but we'll switch to fists. So come up on your fists with your thumbs in front so your fingers are facing in, but you still have a fist here. Back and forth, left and right. So again, our hips and our head move one direction, our shoulders move the other. So keep it nice and slow and controlled. Keep drawing the navel in and up. Again, you can switch from fists to wrists, whatever's most comfortable. What's up, Ollie? Just find some movement that works for you. All right, coming back through center, release your palms back down to the mat. Make sure the tops of your feet are still to the mat. Send your hips back to your heels. Walk your hands forward and release your forehead down into our child's pose, Balasana. You can always rest your forehead on a block or roll up your mat or place a towel underneath. Just find the option that works for you. Just keep your arms extended straight out, palms and forearms rest on the mat. Take 2 to 3 slow, deep breaths here. Okay, now we'll move to add a side bend in our child's pose. So gently lifting your forehead up just a couple inches, enough to where you to the left side of your mat. You want to keep your left sit bone rooted as much as possible. It's either hovering or maybe it's staying rooted on that left heel. But once you walk your hands off to the right, release your forehead back down to the mat. Keep it in between the biceps. And just gently try to soften here, adding a little bit of length. Maybe you're walking your fingertips away from your body to create length in both the left and the right side. Hold here for 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then gently lift your forehead back up. Walk your hands back through center. And then hands off to the left side this time. Releasing your forehead down in between your arms. Keeping your palms rooted to the mat, but maybe you start to walk your hands forward. Just allowing both sides of the body to find length. Breathing into your side ribs for 2 more breaths here. And gently and slowly walk your hands back through center. Lifting your forehead up, walking your hands back, sitting into your Virasana pose, lifting your torso up, lifting your forehead up. So hips stay on the ankles. If this is too uncomfortable for you, you can place a block in between your feet. You can place a towel in between your hips and your heels, or just come into a cross-legged seat. Adding a little bit of neck work, so release the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, and then just extend the arms down, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Draw the navel in and up, and a little bit of neck work, starting by dropping the chin to your chest. Roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Gently let the head drop back as the gaze comes up towards the sky. Rolling through center, looking up. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin draws down towards the chest, come through center. One more time, that direction. So right ear, right shoulder. Let the head gently drop back. Gaze is up towards the center, towards the sky as you come through center. Then left ear, left shoulder. Once you come through center with your chin at your chest, pause for a moment, move in the opposite direction. So now left ear, left shoulder. Head starts to drop back. Gaze is up towards the sky as you come through center. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin drop mat. Bring a little bit of movement back into the legs. So pitter patter your legs here, bringing some blood back into your feet. And then back in our tabletop, we'll release down into our forearm tabletop. So elbows right where the wrists were, and the forearms and the palms come down to the mat, stay nice and parallel. We'll add a twist here in our forearm tabletop. So extend the right arm straight out, palm faces down. Let's inhale, send the right fingertips to the sky, open up the chest. And exhale as you lower the right shoulder down, right arm comes underneath the left arm and through, palm faces up. So inhale, open, right fingertips to the sky. And exhale, send that right arm under and through. Twice more. We're staying on that left forearm and palm, pressing down. Exhale, right arm under and through. One more time, opening up the chest, stacking the shoulders. And exhale, under and through. Gently release back to your forearm tabletop. Recenter your hips, other side. So extend the left arm out, palm faces down. Inhale as you open left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, send that left arm under and through. Inhale, open up. And exhale, under and through. Twice more. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you send it under. Inhale, open up. And exhale, send that back into your forearm tabletop. Place your palms where your elbows are, come into full tabletop. Extend the right leg back, curl the toes under. Extend the left leg back, curl the toes under. Plank pose, and then we'll lift our hips up and back right into our downward facing dog. Take a couple moments in your down dog. It's our first down dog of the day, so let's take our dog for a walk. Find some movement that works for you, just whatever comes naturally. Maybe lift one heel and lift the other. You could drop one shoulder, drop the other. Just find some movements, perhaps lifting the leg up to hip height, flexing or pointing the toes. 2 to 3 more breaths in your movement. You can also find this movement in your tabletop as well, dropping down to your knees. Your Coney. One more breath here. Meeting back in tabletop in stillness now. Inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk or step up towards the top of your mat. Stay in your forward fold, feet hips width distance, nice and parallel. Knees can bend as much as they like. Grab opposite elbows. Let the crown of the head draw down towards the ground. Keep the biceps next to the ears and gently sway from side to side if you'd like. Find your ragdoll pose with some movement, or you can stay right in the center. Just allow your knees to bend as much as you like here. Okay, keep swaying from side to side if you are. Let's switch whichever form is on top. So reclasp opposite elbows. 2 more breaths here. All right, lift all the way up. Keep pressing down through all 4 corners of the feet. And inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Okay, stay at the top of your mat. Make sure your feet are hips width distance, arms down to the sides. Feet stay nice and parallel, heels behind those center toes. Pressing down through all 4 corners of the feet equally. Drawing the kneecaps up towards the hip sockets to engage the muscles in the legs. Gentle spin of the inner thighs in and back. Tailbone draws down, frontal hip points draw up. With the arms down by the sides, palms face forward to allow that external rotation in the shoulders. Softening the shoulders away from the ears, broadening through the collarbones. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Adding some movement here. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, twist, open the arms out to the side, palms face away from the body. Gaze comes back to look over those right fingertips. So inhale, come back through center, arms overhead, palms face each other. And exhale, twist to the left. So palms face away, Gaze comes maybe behind towards those left fingertips. Keep moving. So inhale through center, both arms overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale back through center. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Okay, we'll repeat that, but this time I want you to be conscious of your hips, trying to maintain your hips to square forward, where we're just rotating from the upper body, from the navel up. So previously our hips may have come with us. This time we'll try and keep our hips stationary and just move from the navel up. So we'll see how that feels a little different. So again, starting rooting down through all four corners of the feet. Inhale, bring your arms out and up overhead so the low body stays just as it is. And exhale, twist to the right. You may not twist as far this time, but keep the hips square forward. Open the arms out to the side. We'll hold here for a couple breaths. You can even gaze down, see what those hips are doing. Keep pressing down equally through all four corners of the feet. Keep drawing the right shoulder back. Draw the left hip back to keep the hip square forward. Maybe you turn your neck to look over those fingertips. And then inhale, come back through center. Allow yourself to reset just for a breath here. Hips stay squared forward. And on your exhale, twist to your left this time. So the left arm comes back, twisting from the navel up. Low body stays just as it is. So knees, toes, hips all square forward. Turning maybe your neck to look over those left fingertips, palm facing away. Hold for one more breath here. And inhale, come back through center, both arms overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Well done. Come back to the top of your mat, feet hips width distance, arms down to the sides. Press down through all four corners of your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms down. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back into plank pose. Holding plank pose for 3 to 4 breaths. Fingers are nice and spread. You always have the option to drop your knees to the mat, but keep the toes curled under. Also keep the shoulders over the wrists, whatever options you choose. Keep firm in the outer upper arms in so the elbow creases face forward. Now let's all drop down to our knees. We'll shift our torso forward, and on our exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way to the mat, all in one piece. Keep the wrists next to the ribs, elbows draw in, bring the tops of your feet down. Press your feet down, hips down. On your inhale, lift your head up, chest up, baby cobra. Keep the low rib tips down, draw the elbows in, draw the ankles in. Gentle press to the tops of the feet down. Draw the tailbone towards the back to the ankles and send the heart forward. Keep the chin slightly tucked, gaze is just above the top of your mat. And exhale as you gently lower. Keep the knees down, curl the toes under. Elbows stay in, press down through your hands, lift up through knees down plank pose, and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for 3 to 4 breaths. Through our Surya Namaskar and our sun salutations, we'll have Vinyasa movements also throughout class. We'll be advancing through those Vinyasa movements. Feel free to follow along with me as we advance. You can always skip it and come right to down dog, or just find movement that works for you. Stay in your down dog for 2 more breaths. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Let the crown of your head draw down towards the mat. For 1 more breath here. Now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet, back up to standing. Raise your arms up, torso up, palms face each other. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step both feet back. Knees lower, keep the toes curled, shift forward, bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Tops of the feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift your head up, chest up, baby cobra. Just for a half breath, draw the ankles and the elbows in. And exhale, gently release. Keep the knees down, curl the toes, press yourself up through knees down plank pose. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here in your down dog. Arms stay shoulder width distance. Keep pressing down through the base of each finger and each palm equally. From those outer upper arms in. Ankles draw back and down, staying directly behind those center toes. Feet are nice and parallel. On your next inhale, gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Stay in your forward fold here. Now, knees bend as much as you can so that you can place your left hand, either left fingertips or palm, in between your feet. So either your palm comes to the mat or your fingertips, or if you have a block, you can place that in between your feet where the arm stays on the block as well. So find what variation works for you. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Chin stays tucked, torso stays parallel to the mat. Take a nice deep inhale as you lengthen, send the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, we'll add a twist, opening the right shoulder up to the sky. Keep the left hand in between those feet. If you like, maybe that left elbow is pressing against that left shin, but it's not necessary. Keep drawing the left hip back. So the left shoulder lowers as the right shoulder opens up towards the sky. Maybe you turn your neck as well to look up. Final option, raise the right palm, right fingertips to the sky with the right palm rotated forward. Hold here for one more breath. And exhale, gently release that right arm down. We'll switch to the other side. So placing the right fingertips or palm to the mat or to a block in between both hands. Maybe your right elbow locks into that right shin. Placing the left hand to the left hip. Now inhale, send the crown of your head forward, chin slightly tucks, torso parallel to the mat. And then exhale, add your twist. Right shoulder drops, left shoulder opens, revolving the right ribs under. Maybe you extend your left arm up, palm facing forward. Let's hold for 2 to 3 breaths here. Keep drawing that right hip back. This becomes a little bit of a hamstring stretch as well, too, if you want to begin to straighten your legs for one more breath. And then exhale, release your arm down back into your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, placing your hands to the tops of the shins, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold, press down through your palms. And inhale, raise back up to standing, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take 2 deep breaths here. One more breath. Okay, make sure you're still at the top of your mat, arms down to the side. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right leg back. Drop your right knee down. Right wrist under right shoulder. Left arm out to the side. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift those left fingertips to the sky. Option to revolve and rotate the left palm to face forward. Keep firming the thighs in towards the midline. We're staying here, or you have the option with the right toes curled under to lift the right knee up. Either way, we're keeping the hips squared down. And keep revolving the right rib tips under. Maybe you get a little bit lighter on those right fingertips or palm. Hold for one more breath. And now gently release that left arm down with the right toes curled under. If your knee is still down, lift that right knee up. We'll drop the right heel down, setting up for warrior two, bringing the left arm to the inside of the left uh, thigh. Right arm up to the sky. Press down through your feet and inhale, lift up into your warrior two. Now left toes should face forward, right toes face the long edge side of your mat. With that left knee bent, extend the arms out, square the shoulders to the long edge side of the mat. Turning your neck to look over the left fingertips, let's add some movement. So inhale, straighten the front leg, bring both arms overhead. Exhale, rebend, warrior two. 3 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Let's do one more time. So inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Settle into your warrior two for a couple breaths here. Keep the shoulder squared to the longest side of the mat. Front knee bent, draws towards the pinky side edge, firming that front thigh in and under. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Let's drop the right arm down, reverse our warrior. Left arm up to the sky, left palm faces back. Keep that front knee bent. And exhale as you lift up and spiral both arms to either side of that left foot. Come up on the back right heel. Send the left foot to meet the right foot. Vinyasa through or skip it. Lower your knees, shift forward, bend the elbows, lower all the way to the mat. Bring the top of the feet down, hips down, inhale, lift up into your back bend. Maybe it's baby cobra. Perhaps you straighten your arms into full cobra, firming the outer upper arms in. Shoulders stay over the wrists. Exhale as you gently release. Curl the toes under, keep the knees down, press up, knees down, plank pose. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for 3 breaths. Keep pressing the chest back towards the thighs. Hips lift up and back towards the sky. One more breath here. Inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Other side. Press down through your feet. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your left foot back this time. Everyone start by dropping your knee down. Left wrist under left shoulder. Right arm out to the side. Palm faces down. Take an inhale to prepare. And exhale, open and add your twists. Right fingertips to the sky, opening the chest, rotating the right palm to face forward. Option to stay right here or with your left toes curled under. Press back through your left heel, lift the left leg up. Option just here to stay with your knee lifted. Either way, try to get a little lighter on those left fingertips or palms, really revolving the left ribs under, broadening through the collarbones. Chin stays nice and level with the spine. Hold for one more breath here. Exhale as you release your right arm down. With the left toes curled under, if your knee is down, lift your left knee up. Then drop the left heel down so the left toes face the long edge side of the mat. Right arm to the inside, left arm up to the sky. Press down through your feet and inhale, lift up into your warrior two pose. Settle into your warrior two for a breath or two, checking in with your foundation. Right toes face forward, left toes face the long edge side. Square the shoulders to the long edge side of your mat, extending the arms straight out from the shoulders, palms face over those right fingertips. Adding our movement, so inhale, straighten the front leg, bring both arms overhead. Exhale, rebend, warrior two. 3 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time here. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Settle into your warrior two for 2 to 3 breaths. Keep drawing the right knee towards the pinky side edge, firming the front thigh in and under. Press back through the outer edge of that back foot and soften the shoulders away from the ears. Reversing our warrior, drop the left arm down, right arm up to the sky. Add your side bend. Keep the front knee bent. It always wants to straighten. And then exhale, lift up and spiral both arms to either side of that right foot. Send both feet back. Vinyasa through, knees down as you shift forward. Bend your elbows lower all the way to the mat. Bring your hips down, tops of the feet down. Inhale as you lift up in the back bend of choice. Baby cobra, maybe full cobra with the arms straightened. Exhale as you lower, curl the toes under. Lift all the way up and back to down dog, or come through plank pose first if you need to. From our down dog, stay here for 2 to 3 breaths. Remember, you can always skip those vinyasa movements, come right to down dog, or just find a variation that works for you. Taking 2 more breaths here in your down dog. Last breath. All right, inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, let's face the long edge side of your mat. Come into a wide-legged stance. So extend the legs out nice and wide. Keep the feet staying nice and parallel. Bring your hands to your hips. Use your thumbs to draw your tailbone down, fingers to lift your frontal hip points up. In a moment, we'll add a forward fold. So really press down through all four corners of the feet, firm the thighs in towards the midline. And on your inhale, lift the heart up towards the sky, create length in your spine. Exhale, keep that length as you hinge forward, forward fold. So we're bending right at the hips. Once you lower about halfway, you can lower your hands, palms or fingertips to the mat, perhaps to blocks, or you can keep your hands on your shins with your knees slightly bent. If you're releasing your fingers or palms to the mat, keep your arms shoulder width distance so that the elbows bend back. And if you'd like, you can let the crown of your head draw down towards the mat, chin slightly tucks. Perhaps walking your hands back so the wrists are parallel to the ankles, fingers stay pointed forwards, palms to the mat. Keep drawing the shoulders away from the ears, shifting more weight into the toes, but keeping the heels on the mat. Keep drawing the kneecaps up towards the hip sockets, firming the outer thighs in towards the midline. Hold for one more breath in our Prasarita Padottanasana, A. And then gently start to walk your hands forward so your arms are underneath your shoulders, lifting up halfway, bending the knees slightly, bringing your hands to the hips. Take an inhale. And exhale as you lift yourself back up nice and slowly. Torso lifts. Keep your hands to your hips. Draw your ankles in and toes out. 45-degree angle. So ankles in, toes out. Setting up for goddess pose here. Again, use your thumbs to draw your tailbone down. Fingers to lift the frontal hip points up. Kneecaps draw out. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, bend the knees, lower the hips, goddess pose, adding more movement. So inhale as we straighten, and exhale, lower, just to your capacity. Two more times. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, lower, keep drawing the tailbone down, frontal hip points up. Once more. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, lower. Stay here, keep drawing the tailbone down. We'll add the arms. So extend the arms out to a T or field goal pose with the elbows bent, palms facing forward. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Holding here for a couple more breaths. Options now. Lifting the right heel up, keep pressing the right toes into the mat, then drop the right heel down. Other side, lift the left heel up, press the left toes into the mat, drop them down. Option to lift both heels up at the same time. Find your balance. Keep drawing the kneecaps away from each other. Tailbone draws down. And then exhale, lower the heels, lower the hands, straighten the legs, bring your hands back to your hips. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. As you heel toe your feet back into hips width distance, let's come back to the top of our mat. Last little sequence here. Make sure your feet are parallel, arms down to the side. Come right into chair pose. So knees bend, hips back, arms forward, palms face each other. Have the ankles, knees, and hips all in one line, and bring the hands to the center of your chest. You want to avoid arching or rounding the spine, so draw the tailbone down, lift these frontal hip points up, abdominal muscles are engaged. We'll add a twist here. So on your inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Keep your shoulders up, just twisting from the navel up, just like when we were standing before. Options now, you can stay right here. Next option is to open your arms out, palms face away from your body, keeping your shoulders up. Or if you want to keep your hands to the center of your chest, you can lower your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, keeping your thumbs at your sternum. Either option, again, we want to keep the low body just as it was. So keep drawing the left hip back because it most likely came forward. And adding your twist here, keeping a nice long spine. Chin stays tucked and your gaze is perhaps over that right shoulder, either up towards the sky or looking behind you if you're keeping your shoulders up. Hold for one more breath here. And now release back into center. In your chair pose, hands come back to the center of your chest. Reset for a moment and take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to your left. So again, low body stays just as it is, just turning from the navel up. Option is stay here. Next option, extend the arms out, palms face away. Or if you want to keep your hands at the center of your chest, you can lower the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, keep the thumbs at the sternum. And whatever option you choose, draw that right hip back. Make sure you're equally pressing down through all four corners of the feet, with the ankles, knees, and hips staying in one line. Keep drawing that left shoulder back. Gaze is over that shoulder, perhaps up towards the sky or back behind you. One more breath here. And then exhale, release into your forward fold. Well done. Forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway, hands to the shins, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step both feet back into your downward facing dog. So right back into your down dog. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Now extend your right leg back up to hip height, lifting it, flexing the right toes. Then bend the right knee into your chest, step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Start in your low lunge. Make sure both toes are facing forward. Right knee bends over the right ankle. Press down through your feet and inhale as you lift your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center. Keep them at the center of your chest. Keep lifting your frontal hip points up, drawing your tailbone back. Right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, shift forward 45 degrees, setting up for warrior three. Take a nice deep inhale again. And exhale, shift forward, this time lifting the back leg up. Torso lowers halfway to the mat. Left leg is parallel to the mat as well with the back foot flexed, toe facing down. Lower that left hip down a little more, holding for one more breath. Now we'll stay balancing on the right leg. Lift your chest up, lift your left knee into your chest. Keep the left knee bent 45 degrees with the left foot flexed. Draw this left hip down. So options are stay right here, or to add our twist, bring your right arm across your body, right palm to the outside of the left knee. Send the left arm up to the sky, take an inhale, and exhale, add your twist. The left arm comes behind you, palm faces away from the body. Final option, if you'd like, right arm can grab the outside of the left leg and extend the left leg forward, flexing the foot. So choose whatever variation you like, balancing on that right leg, keeping the hip square forward, just twisting and revolving from the navel up through the sternum, broadening through the collarbones, and the neck being the last thing to turn to look behind. One more breath here. Gently releasing back through center, keep the knee into your chest, arms come overhead. And then exhale, send the left leg behind you, lower into your low lunge with that front knee bent. So left leg behind, low lunge. Send the right foot to meet your left foot. Vinyasa through if you'd like, or skip it. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows, lower all the way to the mat. Press your feet down, hips down, inhale, back bend of choice. Baby cobra, full cobra, maybe upward facing dog with the knees off the mat. Exhale as you gently release. Curl the toes under. Lift your hips all the way up to downward facing dog. We'll switch to the other side. So lift the left leg up and back to hip height. Flex those back toes. Bend the left knee into your chest as you shift forward. Step the left foot up to the top of the mat. Take a breath or two to settle into your low lunge. Make sure both toes are facing forward, pressing down through your feet. And inhale, lift up into your high lunge. Torso lifts, arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through the center of your chest. Keep them here. Keep drawing the left hip back, right hip forward, front knee stays bent. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, shift forward 45 degrees, setting up for warrior three. So inhale to prepare. And exhale, shift forward, lift the back leg up, flex the back toes, torso and back leg are parallel to the mat. Keep lifting that back leg up, but keep the leg nice and straight. Try to lower that right hip down. Keep pressing through all four corners of that standing leg. Chin slightly tucks, hold for one more breath. Stay balancing on the left leg. Lift the torso up, bring the right knee up into the chest. Find your balance here. Keep that foot flexed. Again, option to just stay right here if you'd like, or to add your twist, left arm comes across your body, palm faces the the left palm comes to the outside of that right knee. Inhale as you send your right fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, twist. Again, just from the navel up. So we're keeping our knee, keeping our hip all facing forward. Arm stays up at shoulder height, broadening through the collarbones. Option to stay here if you like. Take the left arm to the outside of that right foot. Extend that right leg forward. Keep flexing that right foot. Really opening through the chest. Balancing on that front leg. Pressing down through all four corners of the feet. Again, maybe you turn your neck to look over the right fingertips. Whatever option you choose, hold for one more breath. And then exhale, gently release back through center. Keep the right knee bent, arms overhead. And exhale, bending the front leg. Send that right leg back, release into your low lunge. Send the left foot to meet the right foot. Last vinyasa, take it or skip it, knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way or halfway down. Tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift into your back bend of choice. And exhale, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for just 2 breaths here. Last down dog of the day. All right, gently shift forward, lower your knees to the mat. Bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Send your hips back to your heels, lower your forehead to the mat. Balasana, child's pose. You can keep your arms extended forward, or if you'd like, bring your arms and your wrists next to your ankles with your palms facing up, allowing the shoulders to release here. If your arms are back by your ankles, you can gently rotate or move your head back and forth on your forehead, just allowing your forehead to release, back to the neck to release, and in a little movement or just staying in stillness. All right, let's all come back through center in our child's pose. Everyone extend your arms forward. Lift your forehead up, walk your hands back to your hips. Let's extend the legs out beside us and bring the legs out in front of you. Bending the knees, bring the bottoms of your feet to the mat, hands next to your hips, send your hips up closer to your heels. So you're up towards the top of your mat with your knees bent. Moving through a couple variations of our Navasana boat pose. So again, make sure your knees and ankles and hips are all in one line. Wrap your hands behind your thighs. Keep a nice long spine. So really root down through your sit bones. Start by now flexing the toes, draw them back towards your face. And then lift your heels off the mat just an inch or two, find your balance here. So you're balancing just on your sit bones. Option one is to stay here. We want to avoid rounding the spine as we advance. So whatever option you take, make sure you're keeping a nice long spine. Next option, if you'd like, raise your shins up to parallel to the mat. Keep the feet flexed. Next option, extend the arms forward, palms face up. Again, keep a nice long spine here. Imagine a string at the center of your chest, lifting you up towards the sky. Final option, if you like, straighten the legs, point the toes, keep the arms extended forward, palms face up. Wherever you are, hold for one more breath. And exhale, gently release the heels down, arms down by the sides. Send your hips up closer to your heels. Hold on to your shins or your thighs and gently lower onto your spine. Nice, slow, and controlled. Once you lower onto your back with your knees bent, bring your ankles underneath your knees, arms down to the sides, setting up for 2 bridge poses here. Really press down through all 4 corners of the feet. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, bridge pose. Keep pressing down through all four corners of the feet. Spin the inner thighs in and down. That keeps the knees tracking over the ankles. And extend the tailbone towards the backs of the knees, keeping the spine nice and long here. Gentle press of the triceps into the mat to lift yourself a little bit higher for one more breath. And exhale, gently release from the top of the spine, middle of the back, low back last to arrive. Bring your knees into touch, separate your feet out to the width of the mat. Stay here for a couple breaths as we begin to set up for our second bridge pose. In a moment, you'll have the option to either repeat what we just did. In your bridge pose, you can place a block or a blanket underneath your sacrum to make it a little more restorative. Or if you'd like to advance, we'll interlace our fingers underneath our back, allowing a little bit more of a lift in our shoulder open and a shoulder opener. Okay, so we'll draw the knees and the ankles back to hips width distance, ankles underneath the knees, arms down by the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. Next, lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, bridge pose. Option to stay here. You can place a block underneath your sacrum, or if you'd like, you can roll the triceps under, interlace the fingers, bring the wrist to touch, straighten the arms, and draw the pinkies towards the mat. Whatever variation you take, spin the inner thighs in and down, equally pressing down through all four corners of the feet. Maybe lift a little bit higher, drawing the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. Keep the chin slightly tucked, gaze stays directly up towards the sky for one more breath. And exhale, gently release the arms out. Release gently and slowly from the top of the spine, middle of the back, low back, last to arrive. Bring the knees into touch, separate the feet out to the width of the mat. Extend the arms out to a T shape or field goal pose, palms face up. And gently start to let your knees rock from side to side, just as we started class here. As your knees rock from side to side, they touch as they come through center. Your feet always stay out wide. Notice how this might feel a little different from when we first started practice. Perhaps you're a little looser in that low back, but hopefully you're feeling good. Next time your knees are off to the right side, pause there. We'll stay in a spinal twist. So option to stay right here. You can also place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. With the knees pointing one direction, you have the option to turn your neck to look away from your knees. So with the knees pointing to the right, turn your neck to the left, gazing over those left fingertips. Try to keep both shoulders rooted onto the mat. And just allow yourself to settle into your spinal twist for 3 slow, deep breaths. All right, release the ankle from on top of the knee. Gaze comes back up through center. Knees come back through center. Keep your feet wide. Recenter your hips and then let your knees drop off to the left side this time. Option to stay here or add the outside of the left ankle on top of the right thigh just to deepen your twist a little bit. And then you can turn your neck to look over the right fingertips. Keep the palms facing up. Just allow yourself to settle here in your full spinal twist. All right, release the ankle from the knee or the thigh. Bring the knees back up through center. Gaze comes back through center. Knees and hips draw back through center. And then draw the knees into your chest, wrapping your hands around your shins or your thighs. Give a gentle squeeze. You can gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Staying here, or if you want to come through a happy baby, separate your knees out wide, bring the bottoms of your feet up towards the sky, ankles grab either on the outsides of your thighs, shins, or feet, But try to keep the low back on the mat. You can either stay rocking from side to side or just stay right in through the center. All right, let's all come back through center. Release your feet, shins, or thighs. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands around. And this time, draw your chin in. Lift your shoulders and the back of the head off the mat. Come into an egg shape. Try and squeeze everything together. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for one more breath. And exhale, extend. Extend the legs long. Extend the arms long overhead. Point the toes away from your body. Extend the fingertips nice and long. Full body stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, release. Arms down to the sides, palms face up. Let the knees and the feet gently fall out to the sides. Let's settle in to our final pose of practice, Shavasana. If you prefer any other variation, perhaps with your knees bent, bottoms of the feet to touch, maybe blocks or a towel underneath your knees to allow more of your low back to rest on the mat. Whatever option or variation you take, just be sure that you allow yourself to ease into the posture and find stillness and peace. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Just settle into your final pose here. All right, let's begin to bring some awareness back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, extending your legs long, and begin to rotate your wrists and your ankles. And switch directions in those rotations. And now come back to stillness for one last breath here on your back. Now gently and slowly draw your knees into your chest as you roll over to one side of your body. Let your knees stack, let your arms stack, and stay for a breath here on your side. Now keeping your eyes softened, use your top arm to press yourself up into a comfortable cross-legged seat to complete your practice today. In your cross-legged seat, you can rest your palms on tops of your knees, palms can face up, or bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together and exhale. Thank you for joining me for your practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. Okay, I'm grateful for you all joining me either live now or watching this after it was recorded. Thank you all so much. Ellen, again, thank you for checking in. I appreciate it. Yes, I think I saw from Lori's email. Is Lori up there with you in Maine? I'm sure if you're there by yourself or you're with her or whomever else you are enjoying yourself, it's really cool that you can tune in from wherever you are to catch the classes here. So I want to thank you for joining. I think I saw there were a little technical hiccup. So as always, I appreciate your patience and working through the technical glitches and going through practice that way. But overall, I hope you really enjoyed. I hope you're feeling good and hope you can take this feeling into the rest of your week. If you ever have any questions, you can always let me know. Feel free to leave comments or questions in the chat or in the video description. There are other ways to reach out to me as well. So I want to thank you again so much for joining me. Again, my name is Daniel with Daniel Lee Yoga. Thanks, and I'll see you next time in practice. Peace.